The New American Garden concept came into play in about 1980 when Mark Cathy, who was the director of the National Arboretum, named it the New American Garden. And we did the New American Garden at the Arboretum in 1981. And that's when it started. Of course, there were our gardens were called many things, like the laissez-faire garden, the low-maintenance garden, gardening for all seasons. There were all kinds of titles, but the one that stuck was the New American Garden, because no one had ever seen anything quite like it. And we were using perennials in a kind of meadow-like way that was very different from anything anybody else was doing. Wolfgang would take off his glasses or not consider the scale of the drawing. And I'd said, for instance, at the Federal Reserve, I said, "Wolfgang, that's 5,000 Rudbeckia Goldstern." "Good," he'd say. He'd taken off his glasses and totally forgot the scale. And so when it was put in, you put in 5,000 Rudbeckia Goldstern, it's very dramatic. It was amazing. And nobody could believe their eyes. The New American Garden style was definitely inspired by paintings, and especially the paintings of Hans Hofmann and Helen Frankenthaler. And I was always interested in paintings and visited galleries all the time. And those painters really influenced me. And I think you can see how a Helen Frankenthaler painting can be a metaphor for a garden of any scale. And I think that was very important for the New American Garden. I also think that my experience in Michigan, walking through meadows and through the landscape of Michigan along those railroad tracks, had a great deal to do with it. And Wolfgang was influenced by Karl Förster, who first used ornamental grasses. I was influenced by Mien Ruys, the Dutch landscape architect, and Jan Bijhouwer, who was my professor at Delft. And it all worked together to create this style, which was very different from any other garden in America. And it included no lawn. I mean, I started promoting no lawn, and the first client that gave us the carte blanche, the go-ahead for no lawn, was Jerry Littlefield, who was a very close friend of mine. He and his wife bought a house in Wesley Heights in Washington, in a very conservative neighborhood, and they gave us carte blanche to do anything we wanted. And so we took out all the lawn in the front of the house. It was a very nice but traditional house, and it was quite revolutionary to have no lawn in front. And that was really the first time. And then Pauline Vollmer decided to let us take all of her lawn out as well. So those were the first times we didn't have lawn in the front of the house. And believe it or not, the garden in Wesley Heights was pulled out by the next owners, and lawn was put back in.